Democrats told men they're the problem, then acted shocked when the fellas ghosted them at the ballot box. But now Barack Obama is trying to win them back. The former president went on his wife's podcast and he called out this mistake he thinks progressives have made.
We've made that mistake sometimes in terms of our rhetoric, where it's like we're constantly talking about it, what's wrong with the boys instead of what's right with them. We rightly have tried to invest in girls to make sure that there's a level playing field and then they're not barred from opportunities. But we haven't been as willing, I think, to be intentional about investing in the boys.
But the hope and change savior wasn't done there. Obama quickly pivoted to Democrats' old ways of blaming men for being men.
While they get great skills in sports and they learn a whole lot of traits,
Teamwork.
it isn't music.
Sports was scaffolding for me to pull myself into manhood. But even as I was doing that, though, my mom was still dragging me to art museums, saying to our boys, you being interested in art, and you being interested in, theater, that's cool.
Sandra, I find Barack Obama to be the most inauthentic narrator of what to do about boys and men. He was the best surrogate that Biden and Kamala had last time, and he was scolding and shaming and screaming at men, pull up your pants and vote for Kamala. Yeah. Get out there and do it. It's a party that doesn't know what women are. It's a party that doesn't realize that many of us who have boys, you and me included, sons, sure, you want to put them in sports, but their answer was to put the boys in women's sports. That was their answer. They don't know what a woman is, and I think this starts early. I'm very curious to know what you think about this starting early, the feminization of our boys. Don't be a gladiator. Don't be a gentleman. Don't be so rough. Sit still. I think it starts there, not in politics.
I wouldn't have enough time in the 60 seconds Greg will give me here. Just joking with you. I felt very uncomfortable listening to that conversation. I honestly did. I felt very uncomfortable. I had read the transcript and hadn't listened to it myself. And I think this is a big part of their identity crisis. They don't know who they are. They don't know what message they want to put out to boys and men. They don't know what message to put to girls and women. But listening to that, sports is sports, music is music, art is art. They are all wonderful things. And raising a boy, you can see this the most in the education system, especially the public education system in this country. They teach to girls. I mean, I truly believe that a lot of what we're doing now, is we've adapted to, progressing our girls more than our boys. And I think there's a lot of parents out there who hear me say that, who know exactly what I mean.
Yep. Jesse, you can speak as the brilliant anchor you are, or a father of a boy and 3 girls, or you can just talk about the Obamas. But I'm most curious, what did they think was going to happen when they run around saying, if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, it's because you don't like women, you're not ready for a female candidate, and this whole thing about women's issues, which is a nonsense phrase. All issues are women's issues.
So this is why he booked himself on his wife's podcast, which real men don't do. But he ships all these jobs to China and then wonders why men are looking around like, what are we supposed to do now? So they're angry, they voted Trump, and then the next thing you know, they say we're waging a war on women and that men are toxic and the patriarchy is holding everybody down. And so the men just leave the party and they vote Trump. And now Obama's like, okay, how do I save this thing? And he goes, okay, how do I win guys back? By telling them not to play sports and take their gay friend to the theater? Now, there's nothing wrong with having a gay friend. I have a gay friend. He's Greg. But the theater's horrible. And I went to the theater the other day, and it's the last time I go to the theater. It's just not something young men want to hear. They don't want to hear go to the theater. They want to hear, let's play sports. Let's play more sports and more sports. And if you have a kid that doesn't want to play sports and he likes the theater, fine. Okay? But most guys like sports. And for Barack Obama, who was all about the NCAA, he was playing golf with all guys. No women ever play golf with him. He was playing basketball with the Tar Heels. They let him in, played pickup with all his buddies. And now all of a sudden he's like, I'm a theater kid. He's a boring guy. And the same thing that's happening to the rest of the Democratic Party, without all the lights, camera, action, and the teleprompter, you sit a guy down with his wife, and it's just a boring, nerdy conversation that no one can relate to.
Jessica, it was pretty boring, but what is your party going to do about winning men back? You're losing white men to Donald Trump by 20 points with a white guy as the VP. I don't think it's pilot programs and polls and $20 million in luxury hotel rooms. But what is it? It can't be this.
I think it's just being nice and supportive.
Of whom?
Of men, of everybody. If a kid wants to do sports.
What is a man?
Great. I am highly aware of what men and women are and how babies are made and all the things. So I'm good on that. I don't need the lesson. Just be nice to people. Don't talk down to people. It's pretty simple. And we have great examples, especially some of these Democratic governors to look to who are hugely popular. Andy Beshear, 66% approval in Ruby Red, Kentucky. Josh Shapiro, 61% approval, huge football fan. Wes Moore, 59% approval, can be found at Ravens tailgates, for instance. Remember when you saw that, Jesse, and you were like, who is that guy?
I liked him.
Yeah, he liked him. Jesse Waters likes Wes Moore. So I think it is time to start focusing on the examples that we have of people who are winning elections and winning approval from these key demographics and just move forward that way.
Sounds like Jessica's moving on from Barack Obama. Greg, I'm sure that seriously disappoints you.
Can we show a clip of that, of the podcast? I thought it was pretty interesting. You show? Yeah, check out that big mic.
That is a big.
Yeah. Look, I've never been surprised by anything Barack Obama ever says. There are a lot of people like him where the opinions are assigned and you can hear them from somewhere else, but everybody has to pretend that it's contemporary. When he talks about like everybody should have a gay friend, he's acting like it's like 2001. You know, it's like he's like he just watched a movie where the neighbor is a lovable gay person. And now it's like, oh my God, he's operating in a false America where people are still having vapors about people of different race or sexuality. Jesus, man, we had 1 day for vets and a whole month for pride. I think we got the message. Corporate America is bending over backwards to score virtue points over rainbow people. So I think maybe it's time to pull back from the whole thing about identity, because that's the thing that is getting you. Men aren't sensitive. We're not going to get our feelings hurt, but we will leave if we sense that you don't want us around. And what happened is all of a sudden the party noticed we weren't around. What happened to you? Now you want us back. All right. First of all, you amplified all men as predators during the Me Too movement. You said you couldn't be trusted around us. We were toxic. And then you pulled this switcheroo. And this is what really pissed us off, where you elevated ex-men as more righteous and deserving than actual women. So you went from condemning predators to protecting the very worst of them. How are you going to get us back after that? I have no idea.
Well, Barack Obama and I agree on this. He said he's glad he never raised a son.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.